Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong and welcome to Pointless, the quiz show where the aim of the game is to score as few points as you can. And to do that, you need to come up with the answers that no one else could think of. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
Hi, I'm Ads. This is my partner, Emma. We're originally from Sydney and now we're living in London.
Couple number two.
Hi, I'm Dean. This is Richard and we're work colleagues from London.
Couple number three.
Hi, I'm Graham. This is my dad, Ian, and we're from Newcastle.
And finally, couple number four.
Hi, I'm Trudy. This is my husband, Chris, and we're from Fry and Barnet.
And these are today's contestants. Thanks to all of you. We'll find out more about you throughout the show as it goes along. So that just leaves one more person for me to introduce. He's here to check facts and chew bubblegum. And he's all out of bubblegum. It's my pointless friend. It's Richard.
Hiya. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon to you.
And to you.
I was just noticing as we went along the line, it's a very southern show today. It's quite
very southern.
That's unlike us, isn't it?
And in some cases, very southern. Originally.
Really? How southern are you talking?
Well, I'm talking very southern. Southern hemisphere.
Oh, yeah. I hear what you're saying. Like
Yeah.
Australia, right?
Yeah.
That's, like, really south.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for Graham and Ian, who are representing the north.
Yeah.
Good first round today. First round's going to be one of those ones that tests a few people out.
Good stuff. Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Now, all our questions on Pointless have been put to 100 people before the show. Our contestants here need to find the obscure answers those 100 people didn't get. Obviously, everyone's trying to find a pointless answer. This is an answer that none of our 100 people gave, and each time that happens, we will add 250 quid to the jackpot. Now, Sarah and Kath didn't win the jackpot last time, so we add another £1,000 to that, so today's jackpot starts off at a respectable £4,500. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. OK, in this first round, I'll take an answer from each of you, and remember, there is to be no conferring. At the end of the round, whichever pair has the highest score, we will be sending home. Best of luck, all four pairs. Our category for round one is modern life. Can you all decide on your pairs? Who's going to go first? Who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. And the question concerns inventions. Inventions, Richard.
On each pass, we're going to show you descriptions of 7 inventions, and we're going to give you the initials of that invention as well. You just need to tell us what the invention is, please. There's going to be 14 in all to have a go at home. Very best of luck.
Thanks very much. So, remember, we are looking for the inventions that fit these clues and also fit the initials given. And here is our first board of 7. We have got a near-instant cooker patented by Percy Spencer in 1945, MO. A device that sprays regulated amount of fuel into a car engine where it is combusted, C. Alloy, mainly of iron and chromium, that resists corrosion, SS. Fibre introduced as a silk substitute in 1938, used in the manufacture of stockings, N. Length of wire coiled into a spring with a point at one end and a clasp at the other, SP. I am enjoying this a lot. A double-walled vessel used to keep food hot or cold, VF. And a fastening device consisting of 2 parallel rows of teeth interlocked by a sliding tab, Z. I'll read those all one last time. A near-instant cooker patented by Percy Spencer in 1945, MO. A device that sprays regulated amount of fuel into a car engine where it is combusted, C. Alloy, mainly of iron and chromium, that resists corrosion, SS. Fibre introduced as a silk substitute in 1938, used in the manufacture of stockings, N. Length of wire coiled into a spring with a point at one end and a clasp at the other, SP. A double-walled vessel used to keep food hot or cold, VF. And a fastening device consisting of 2 parallel rows of teeth interlocked by a sliding tab, Z.
Whew. Very well done.
Thank you very much. Now then, Emma and Ads, you all drew lots before the show, and today you are going to go first. Emma, welcome to Pointless. What do you do, Emma?
I'm a marketing manager for a dance company.
Now, you're from London, but that accent isn't a London accent. Actually, do you know what? That accent almost is a London accent.
Yeah,
There's a lot of that accent. I always...
Now, I'm trying to do a London accent, yeah.
What's the thing? Or do you only speak to drunk Londoners?
Yes.
I love hearing an Australian accent because it usually means I've got to the front of the queue at the pub.
What can I serve you?
Well, an answer. An answer.
An answer.
What do you make of this board?
Good. I think I'll go for number 3 and say stainless steel.
Stainless steel, says Emma for the third one down. The alloy of iron and chromium that resists corrosion. Let's see if stainless steel fits the bill, and if it does, let's see how many people said it. It's absolutely right. 70. 70.
It's a big score, but I suspect we may see a few more big scores in this round as well, actually. Yes, first produced in 1913, stainless steel.
Thanks very much indeed. Richard.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. Great to have you here. What do you do, Richard?
I'm an education recruitment consultant.
Tell me what that is. Just...
Basically, we find teachers jobs.
There we go. There we go. When you're not finding teachers' jobs, what do you like to do, Richard?
I like long-distance running, and I also I read stories for a website that produces free children's stories every week.
That's fun. So how do you do it every week?
Not every week, about once a month. But I read the stories not in my own voice, but in the voice of a dog.
Two things. So actually, three things. I didn't. No one told me about this job.
Is there a voiceover you're not doing?
Allegedly, yes.
That's extraordinary. That's thing one.
OK, so thing two, what's the dog called?
The dog is called Astro Pup. He's a dog that likes to travel space and time and...
Thing three.
Yes.
What's he sound like?
Go on, I can give you a little bit.
Read the top clue in the voice of Astro Pup.
A new instant cooker, patented by Percy Spencer in 1945.
Because you do Daddy Dog. You're the voice of Daddy Dog. So how would Daddy Dog read that first one?
You want me to do it?
Yeah.
OK. I can't remember how he talks.
Imagine you're getting paid.
That's it. It's come to me now. A near instant cooker, patented by Percy Spencer in 1945. M.O. Anyway, sorry, there we go. Richard, there we are. Which one are you going to go for?
I'm going to go for the second one down. Sprays regulated amounts of fuel into a car engine where it is combusted. That's a carburettor?
A carburettor. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said carburettor. It's right. 70 was our high score, and you passed that. 34. Just under half.
Well played, Richard, invented by Wilhelm Maybach, who was a partner of Daimler's, replaced by a fuel injection system in most modern engines.
Graham.
Hello.
A very warm welcome to you, here from the northeast, representing anything north of Watford on the show. Lovely to have you here. What do you do, Graham?
I'm a training assessor. I work in adult education.
And what are your hobbies, Graham?
I enjoy going to the cinema quite a lot. I enjoy reading, but mainly, at the minute, I've got twin daughters who are 2. So I spend all my time playing peekaboo, pretending that I'm a princess.
Come on, Graham. What do you mean, pretend?
Fun, though.
I would love for you to read out the top clue in the voice of a princess.
Graham, anyway, listen. We're looking for the inventions that fit these clues.
OK, I'm going to go a little bit risky with a double-walled vessel used to keep food hot or cold. I believe it's a vacuum flask.
A vacuum flask, says Graham. Sounds very good to me. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 said vacuum flask. Is right. 42. Not bad at all, Graham. 42.
Well played, Graham, invented by Scottish chemist James Dewar in 1872.
Thanks very much indeed. Now then, Chris, welcome back.
Hi.
Tell us what happened last time, Chris.
We got through to the second round, and then we got on to Cold War leaders.
Ah, Yeltsin.
Yeah.
Yeltsin. Now then, Chris, talk us through this board, if you can.
I think the first one is microwave oven, I think. Then, was it fibre introduced
as a silk substitute, 1938?
I think that's nylon. And the final one, blah-de-blah-de-blah, was a zip, I think. But I'm going to go for, I think, nylon.
Nylon. says Chris. Let's see if nylon's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said nylon. It's right. 79. Oh, that's a big score. 79.
It's a big score, but it's a lot better than 100. And, you know, there's been some big scores on this pass. I suspect there will be on the next one as well. They always say that nylon comes from New York, London, but it doesn't. So
Is that nonsense?
No, it's a myth. It's just a made-up word. So there you are. Let's have a look through the rest of these. The one at the top there is microwave oven, and that would have scored 64 points. The one at the bottom is obviously zip. What do you think that's scoring?
87.
91. Now, this other one, a length of wire coiled into a spring with a point at one end and a clasp at the other. It sounds very complicated. It sounds like something you've never heard of. But the answer is very simple. The answer is a safety pin. And that would have scored you 4 points, the description putting off everybody there.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Well, we're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at those scores. 34, the best score of that pass. Very well done. Richard and Dean looking pretty strong on the back of that. Then up to 42, where we find Graham and Ian. Up to 70, where we find Emma and Ads. And then up to 79, where we find Chris and Trudy. You're not too far ahead there. But Trudy, a really good low score from you. Best of luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, let's put 7 more clues on the board, and here they come. We have got a cooling cabinet for preserving food, R. Item used for shaving, containing a guard and removable blade, SR. Metal food wrapping material that forms a protective barrier, AF. Machine for cleaning crockery, shown at the Chicago World's Fair in 1893, D. Weaving machine that used punched cards to produce intricate patterns, JL. A small pouch originally made from silk containing leaves that make a beverage, TB. Waterproof wipe-clean floor covering made from linseed oil, L. I'll read those one final time. A cooling cabinet for preserving food, R. Item used for shaving containing a garden removable blade, SR. Metal food wrapping material that forms a protective barrier, AF. Machine for cleaning crockery, shown at the Chicago World's Fair in 1893, D. Weaving machine that used punched cards to produce intricate patterns, JL. A small pouch originally made from silk containing leaves that make a beverage, TB. Waterproof wipe-clean floor covering made from linseed oil. There we are, got to the end of the board. Remember, we are looking for the names of the inventions that fit these descriptions and indeed these initials. And you're going to have to try and find the lowest scoring one you can on that board. Trudy. What do you do, Trudy?
I'm a practice secretary for a cardiologist in Harley Street.
And what are your hobbies, Trudy?
I like films. I'm a member of a theatre group and...
As a performer?
As a performer, yes, yes.
Very
Doing
good.
a bit of voiceover and some acting as well.
Give us a nice low-scoring answer here, Trudy.
Oh, gosh, I don't think I can, actually.
Do you know them all?
I know a few, but I think I'm going to have to go for the metal food wrap, aluminium foil.
Aluminium foil, says Trudy. There's no red line for you because you're the highest scorers, but let's see how far down the board aluminium foil takes you. It's right. 60. 60 takes your total up to 139.
Yes, in a normal round, 60 is quite a high score, but we've seen some big scores here. I suspect there's more to come. Tin foil was originally used, and then aluminium replaced it in the early 20th century.
A bit lighter, I should think.
Yeah.
Now then, Ian.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What do you do, Ian?
I'm a customer services advisor for a large electrical retailer.
And whose idea was it to come on Pointless?
That was Graham's.
And were you the obvious choice to come on? Oh, Graham, don't do that.
I didn't think so.
How did he land on you then, Ian?
I don't know.
Graham?
He had a theory, I think.
I had a few choices of people in my head, and so I kind of had little X Factor type auditions in my head to see who would be the better partner. Unfortunately, landed on my dad.
And you won't regret it, will you, Ian?
No.
Not in this round. What are you going to give me?
I think I know most of these, so I'm going to go with the bottom one, and I think that'll be lino or linoleum.
Lino or linoleum, says Ian. Let's see if that's right. You're on 42. The high scorers are Trudy and Chris on 139. If you can get below that red line, it's nice and high, you are through to round 2. Let's see if linoleum's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 said it. It is right. Well done. 39. That's a great score, Ian. takes your total up to 81.
Well played, Ian. I have to say, you absolutely owned that stage. You made that answer your own, and you are through to boot camp. Well done. That's some X Factor material there.
It's good, it's good. Dean.
Yes.
You're on 34, Dean. 139 is out of your reach, even if you score 100 points. So bearing that in mind, you can have a little bit of fun with your answer here. What do you do, Dean?
With Richard, we both work in education recruitment for teachers. So I specialise in secondary school teachers and Richard does primary school teachers.
And what do you like getting up to when you're not doing that?
Jogging, walking, living near the Thames. I like to walk along the river, things like that. Film, theatre.
Good stuff. OK, well, there's that board. 5 inventions as yet unnamed. Do you know them all?
No, I was going to go for the bottom one, but I think I have to go with the top one, refrigerator.
Refrigerator for the top one, says Dean. Let's see if that's right. As I say, you're already through, so there's no red line for you. But let's see how many of our 100 people said refrigerator. It's right. 38. 38.
Yes, good answer, Dean. Well, I think perhaps because so many people call it the fridge, so the R is putting people off there. They say one of the big advances in our life is going to be fridges, which can inform your local shop when you run out of certain foods. You know what? I can live without that.
Yeah.
That's, you know what? What's in my fridge is my business. If I run out of stuff, I'll go and get something.
Yeah, what if I put it in the wrong shelf?
Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine someone knocking on your door saying, I see you're out of eggs?
You go,
think,
what?
Oh,
And they
come on.
can't open the door for eggs.
Yeah. I don't think I would like that.
I don't know. Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Now then, ads.
Hi.
Finally, ads, we come to you. What do you do, ads?
I'm a graphic designer.
And what do you get up to when you're not graphic designing?
I like a bit of cycling and living in London, just going out in London and exploring the place.
And how long have you been here?
So we've been here for 5 years.
So you came over as a pair, I see.
We came as a pair.
As a couple, I think is a nicer thing to say, not as a pair. Now, ads, talk us through the board.
OK, so the tea bag for the small pouch, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I would love to know what that weaving machine is. It's somewhere in my head, but I just can't think of JL. Machine for cleaning crockery, dishwasher, and then item used for shaving, I'm thinking safety razor. I don't shave that often, so that's why I'm not so sure about that one.
Well, the high scorers are still Trudy and Chris on 139. If you can score 68 or less,
OK.
you're through.
I'm going to go for tea bag.
You're going to go for tea bag. OK, let's see if tea bag is right for the silk pouch. And if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said tea bag. It's right. Oh, 88 ads. I'm afraid that takes your total up to 158. What a relief for Trudy and Chris there on their return to the show.
Yeah, tea bags, but you've forgotten you live in the UK. So we're obsessed with it. We're obsessed with this stuff. Tea bag's relatively recent phenomenon. Even by 1965, only 7% of tea was used in tea bags. 95% now. Safety razor would have seen you safely through. Would have scored 24 points. It's a really low scorer. The machine for cleaning crockery, of course, is the dishwasher. That's another big answer, though. 89 points. It's actually the biggest up there. And the best answer by a mile, which everyone thinks they know, I suspect very few people will know this, it's the jacquard loom. The jacquard loom scored 1 point, so very well done if you said that. That would have been a lovely score in this round, wouldn't it? Look at those scores.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. So at the end of our first round, the pair who'll be heading home with their high score of 158. I'm afraid it's Ads and Emma. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, and you knew all those nice low scores. You didn't know the jacquard loom, though, did you?
No, well, now I do.
You do now? Yeah, we'll all remember that for about 5 seconds longer. The good news is we get to see you again next time. We'll look forward to that very much indeed. But meantime, thanks very much for playing. Emma and Ads.
Thank you very much.
But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. And so we are down to 3 pairs. Wow, Chris and Trudy. What a nail-biter that was. I thought that was you off.
Have my speech ready.
Lucky, lucky break for you two. Dean and Richard and Graham and Ian, very, very close between you. Dean and Richard, though, you are our low-scoring pair. So, well done to you. Best of luck to all three pairs. Our category for round 2 is tennis. Tennis. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many of the best tennis players in the world as they could. Best tennis players in the world, Richard?
Yeah, we're looking for anyone ranked in the world top 20 as of the 7th of January 2013, please. So anyone ranked in the men's top 20, that's on the ATP Tour, or the women's top 20, that's the WTA, as of 7th of January 2013. Very best of luck.
OK, thanks very much indeed. Now then, Dean. Dean, is tennis good for you?
It's not too bad. I've never seen any tennis matches, but I watch quite a bit, so... Yeah.
You watch without seeing them? I know what you mean. I know
Behind the sofa.
I know what you're saying. What are you going to go for?
I will go Serena Williams.
OK, Serena Williams, says Dean. Serena Williams. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 said Serena Williams. It is right. 57. It's right, but it's high.
Yeah, Serena Williams has been world #1 many times, but she was world #3 at the time we took this poll.
Thanks very much. Now then, Ian. Ian, do you follow the tennis?
Not a lot. Just when Wimbledon's getting played, that's about it.
OK. Are you good at remembering names? That's the question.
Well, I'm going to take a chance and go for a lady player as well. And I'm going to say Maria Sharapova.
Maria Sharapova, says Ian. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Sharapova. It's right. Well, you pass Dean's score of 57. Down it goes to 14. Very well done, Ian.
Yeah, she's the first Russian ever to be ranked world #1, actually, in 2005, Maria Sharapova.
Trudy, how are you on tennis?
Not too good. I haven't watched tennis for a while, so I'm just going to have to try and think of somebody that I've seen. So, Rafael Nadal.
Rafael Nadal, says Trudy. OK, let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said Rafael Nadal. He's right. Oh, 38. Not bad. Not bad at all. Surprisingly low score for Rafa Nadal.
Yeah, Rafa Nadal was #4 at the time. He'd had a long layoff due to injury.
OK, well, we're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at the scores as they stand. 14, the best score of that pass, Ian. Very well done. Graham and Ian looking pretty good on the back of that. Up to 38, where we find Trudy and Chris. Then up to 57, where we find Dean and Richard. So, yes, Richard, you're quite a way ahead there. How are you on tennis? Are you good on this sort of thing?
Not great.
Well, you've got a little bit of time to marshal your thoughts, see if you can come up with a really good, obscure, top 20 ranked tennis player. Best of luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please step up to the podium? OK, we are looking for the best tennis players in the world, Chris, as of January 2013. You're on 38, the high score is on 57 of Richard and Dean. A score of 18 or less would keep you from becoming the new high scorers.
OK, not great for me. I'm not sure if he still plays now or if he ever did, but... Cedric Pierlin?
Cedric Pierlin, says Chris. There is your red line. Let's see if Pierlin gets you below that red line. Is it right? Oh, bad luck, Chris. I mean, Pointless always likes a trier. But Cedric Pierlin, I'm afraid an incorrect answer, scores you the maximum of 100 points, takes the total up to 138.
Sorry, Chris, he certainly exists, though, and he was a tennis player, but from quite a while ago, retired in 2002.
Now then, Graham, you're through to the head-to-head, by the way. This is good news. The high scorers on 138 are Chris and Trudy. You're on 14. Even if you score 100, you're through. However, you're not going to score 100. What's your answer going to be?
Well, tennis isn't very good for me at all. So I'm just going to go with Venus Williams.
Venus Williams, says Graham. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said it. No red line, you're already through. Ooh. Bad luck, Graham. An incorrect answer scores you the maximum of 100 points, takes your total to 114, but, as I say, you are already through.
Yeah, so it's an unlucky guess again, someone who struggled a lot with injuries. She drops it in and out of that top 20 as well. She was around about 25 at the point we're looking at.
And finally, Richard. Now then, we have a game on our hands. The high scorers at the moment are Chris and Trudy on 138. But if you can't score under 80, you will be the high scorers at the end of the round. So, yes, that's your target, 80 or less.
OK, I had a bit of time to think, and I had somebody in mind if I had to get a lower score. But I think as I've got to get 80 or less, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to say Roger Federer.
Roger Federer, says Richard. Roger Federer. Here comes your red line, nice and high. Let's see if Roger Federer gets you below that red line. He's right, and it does. Very well done. 59. 116, your total.
Oh, that was a risky one, wasn't it? Yeah, just 59, though. Holds the record for being the most consecutive weeks at world number one. 237 weeks he was at number one.
That's even longer than Bryan Adams, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's 2 weeks longer than Bryan Adams, yeah. It's very impressive. Not a huge amount of tennis geeks here, I don't think, but there'll be plenty at home, so let's look at some pointless answers, because I know some people would have got some. Anna Ivanovic would have been a pointless answer, former world number one, the Serb. The German, Angelique Kerber. Another Serb, Janko Tipsarevic. He's got a Dostoevsky tattoo, Tipsarevic. He's got "Beauty will save the world" tattooed in Japanese on his arm. Don't get that in football, do you? No. Let's look at the next page. John Isner, the American. Marin Cilic, the big Croat. Marion Bartoli, the French woman, was in the Wimbledon final a few years back. Nadia Petrova, Nicolas Almagro, the Spaniard clay court specialist, and Stan Wawrinka, the Swiss. He won the doubles gold medal in the Olympics in Beijing. You could have had Juan Monaco, you could have had Kei Nishikori, you could have had Maria Kirilenko, as well as a few other names there. Very well done if you said any of those at home. Let's take a look at the most popular answers, the ones that most of our 100 people said when we asked them online. Serena Williams, 57. Roger Federer, 59. Who do you think is going to be top of that list?
Oh, it's going to be Andy Murray.
Andy Murray, yeah.
Sorry.
And he would have scored you 82 points. That's a big score.
Thanks very much indeed. So at the end of our second round, I'm afraid to say it's Chris and Trudy, our returning pair, our friends from last time, leaving us. Well, it was quite a high-scoring round, that one. Yes, no one was completely at home with tennis, were they? But I'm afraid you ended up with the high score, though, so we have to say goodbye. And this time it really is goodbye, but it's been wonderful having you on the show. Chris and Trudy, thanks so much for playing. But for the remaining two pairs, it's time for our head-to-head. Congratulations, Dean and Richard, Graham and Ian. You are one step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £4,500. So, to decide which pair goes through to the final to play for that money, you're now going to go head-to-head. The big difference is you're now allowed to confer. And the first pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that money. Best of luck to both pairs. Let's play the head-to-head. OK, here comes your first question, and it concerns acting Michaels. Acting Michaels, Richard.
I'm going to show you 5 images now of actors who are called or known as Michael. Can you identify the most obscure?
OK, thanks, Richard. Let's reveal our 5 Michaels, and here they are. We have got A, B, C, D, and E. There we are, 5 acting Michaels. Dean and Richard, you played best throughout the show so far, so you get to go first.
Could we go for C, Michael Sheen?
Michael Sheen. Michael Sheen, say Dean and Richard. Graham and Ian, what are you going to go for?
I think we'll go for B, Michael Cera or Cera.
Michael Cera or Sarah. OK, so we have Michael Sheen versus Michael Cera. Dean and Richard said Michael Sheen. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said it. It's right. Down it goes. Look at that, 17. 17 for Michael Sheen. Graham and Ian have picked Michael Cera. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said it. It's right. Well, it has to beat 17, and I have a hunch it may. Yes, it will. 4. Very well done indeed. That's a great answer. So, Graham and Ian, after one question, you are up 1-0.
Very good work there, Graham. Yeah, made his name in the sitcom Arrested Development. It's been in Superbad, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, all sorts of things. Michael Cera. A, he wasn't born a Michael, but he's known as Michael. It's Michael Caine, of course. And that would have scored you 81 points. D is Michael J. Fox. Michael J. Fox would have scored you 52. And E, Michael Fassbender, so he would have scored you 7 points. So, Michael Cera, the best answer on the board there.
Thanks very much indeed. Now, here comes your second question. Graham and Ian, you get to answer it first, but Dean and Richard, you have to win it to stay in the game. Very best of luck. It concerns Scottish airports. Scottish airports, Richard.
We're going to show you the names of 5 Scottish airports now with alternate letters removed. Can you fill them in? Give us the most obscure.
OK, thanks, Richard. Let's reveal our 5 Scottish airports, and here they are. We have got E blank I blank B blank R blank H, B blank N blank E blank U blank A, blank L blank S blank O blank, P blank E blank T blank I blank K, A blank E blank D blank E blank, and W blank C blank J blank H blank, O blank R blank A blank S. I'll read those all again without the blanks. EIBRH, BNEUA, LSOPETIK, AEDE, and WCJHORAS. There we are, 5 Scottish airports with bits missing. Graham and Ian, go first.
Top one's Edinburgh. Fourth one's Aberdeen, yeah. The bottom one's something John O'Groats, but I don't know what the other bit is. Something John O'Groats, but I've never been there. I don't know the other 2 at all. We only know 2, I think. So we're going to go with the 4th one, which we think is Aberdeen.
The one up from the bottom, Aberdeen, say Ian and Graham, Aberdeen. Now then, Dean and Richard, how confident are you feeling? Do you want to take us through the whole board?
Might be difficult, don't know about you.
I knew 2, the top one, and that one, the 4th one. Do you know any of the others?
Not at all. I think we just have to go with the top one.
I think the bottom one, it's something John O. Grady's or something John O.
No. We have to go for the first, I think, don't we?
Yep.
Edinburgh.
You're going to say?
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh. OK, so we have Aberdeen versus Edinburgh. Graham and Ian said Aberdeen. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Aberdeen. It's right. 50. 50 for Aberdeen. Dean and Richard have said Edinburgh. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Edinburgh. Is right. Ooh, 78. That's a high score. All of which means, Graham and Ian, congratulations to you. After only 2 questions, you are through to the final 2-0.
That was nice and simple. Every Scot at home will know the answer to all of these, I suspect. The second one down, it's in the Outer Hebrides. Do you know that one?
Don't know that one.
Benbecula. That would have scored you 9 points. The next one is...
Glasgow Prestwick.
Glasgow Prestwick, yes, that would have scored 15. Now, the best answer on the board is the most northerly mainland airport in the UK, and it is... Would you ever go at that?
I know John O'Groats. I don't know what the first word is.
It's Wick John O'Groats. Wick John O'Groats. Very well done if you said all 5 of those. 7 points for that, so that's the best answer.
Thanks very much indeed. So, the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head round, I'm afraid it's Dean and Richard.
Do you know, I flew to Benbecula Airport about a year and a half ago. Yeah, kicking myself.
And from Wick John O'Groats. That's the...
Well, listen, Dean and Richard, I'm sorry we have to say goodbye to you, but we'll see you again next time. We'll look forward to that very much indeed. Thanks, meanwhile, for playing, Dean and Richard. But for Graham and Ian, it's now time for our pointless final. Congratulations, Graham and Ian. You've seen off the competition and you've won our coveted Pointless trophy. You now have a chance to win our Pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £4,500. Well, hearty congratulations. You were outnumbered by the Southerners 3-1, and you have prevailed. Look at that, fantastic. What would you like to see come up in this final round?
Music would be good. Films might be okay.
Literature.
Literature.
Not geography.
Not geography. OK, well, as always, you have to kick off this round by choosing a category, and here are your 4 options. They are fashion, US geography, 21st century rock bands, and Shakespearean comedies.
Fashion in US geography's totally out. Shakespearean comedies, no.
No. I think we'll have to go for 21st century rock bands.
Yeah.
OK,
Yeah.
21st century rock bands it is. Richard.
Yeah, we're going to give you 3 options here, 3 options to have a go at home as well. We need you to tell us top 40 singles by any of the following groups. Top 40 singles by Muse, top 40 singles by The Killers, or top 40 singles by the Kings of Leon. All of that up to February 2013. So top 40 singles by Muse, The Killers, The Kings of Leon. Best of luck in the studio, best of luck at home as well.
Thanks very much. Now, as always, you've now got a minute to come up with 3 answers, and all you need to win that jackpot of £4,500 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Now, remember, the answers you provide can come from any of those categories on the board. 3 from one, 2 from one, 1 from another, whichever you like, as long as they are Muse singles, Killers singles, or Kings of Leon singles. Are you ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
OK, let's put 60 seconds on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
OK, Muse, I don't really know anything by.
Me neither.
Killers.
Couple.
One that pops in mind is Spaceman. I believe that was like a really low top 40. I think it might just got in. So maybe go with that one.
About Kings of Leon.
Kings of Leon, the obvious one,
Sex
Sex
on
on
Fire,
Fire, Use Somebody, but I'm sure they had one called Radioactive,
Right, okay.
which was after them.
So do you want to go for a Killers 1 and 2?
I would say
One
Kings
Killers.
of Leon, Radioactive, let's go. Killers, Spaceman, and another Killers one. There's got to be something that we know. Human, I think people
Too
remember. Earlier stuff. There's that one, I've got Soul, but I'm not a soldier, but I don't know what it's called. It might just be called Soldier, I'm sure.
So do you want to do 2 Killers and 1
Yeah.
Kings of Leon?
So we'll do Radioactive for Kings of Leon, we'll do Spaceman for the Killers, and another Killers one, what will we do?
I don't know.
Humans, okay.
Okay.
OK, that's your time up.
Okay.
I now need your 3 answers, and if you could tell me which category
Right.
each of those answers
We're
is
going
for.
to go for...
We're going to go for 2 for the Killers singles.
And they are
I'm going to say Human
Human
and Spaceman.
and Spaceman,
And for Kings of Leon, we're going to go for Radioactive.
Radioactive. OK, of those 3 answers, which do you think is your best shot at a pointless answer?
I think Spaceman.
If it's right, Spaceman.
OK, Spaceman will put last. Which is your least likely?
Human.
Human. OK, so Killers, Kings of Leon, Killers. OK, let's put those up on the board in that order, and here they are. We have got Human, Radioactive, and Spaceman. Well, very, very best of luck. Your first answer was Human. Now, this is the one you thought was probably least likely to be pointless. Let's find out if it is. Obviously, it has to be correct first, then it has to be pointless for you to win that jackpot. So for £4,500, is Human a top 40 single by The Killers? It's right. It's right. Now, if this takes us all the way down to 0, you will leave here with £4,500. It's going down through the teens, into single figures, still going down. Look at that, 3 for Human. A massive hit single there. It scores 3.
Amazing.
This is quite reassuring.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I think this is very reassuring. I'm feeling quite excited now. OK, so your second answer was Radioactive. Now, if this is right and this is pointless, you will win £4,500. What would you do with that, Graham?
I think with that money, we would use it to have a family holiday. Like me, my wife, my 2 children, and my mum and dad. And go somewhere nice and warm and enjoy it.
Yeah. Good stuff. Ian, anything else you'd want to add to that?
I think that's exactly what we'd do.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Lovely. Well, very, very best of luck. Your second answer was Radioactive. Let's find out. It has to be pointless for you to win the jackpot for £4,500. Is Radioactive a Kings of Leon top 40 single? OK, well, Human took us down to 3, your first answer. Radioactive is now taking us down through the teens into single figures. It's still going down. Down it goes, down to 2, down to 1. Oh, very well done indeed. Well, that's good. 3 to 1. This is all moving in exactly the right direction.
It is.
Everything now rests on your final answer, Spaceman. Again, this has to be correct, then it has to be pointless for you to win that jackpot. So for £4,500, is Spaceman a Killer's top 40 single? Spaceman. Well, it's right. Now, Human took us down to 3. Radioactive took us down to 1. Spaceman takes us down into the teens, into single figures, still going down. Down it goes. If this stops... Oh, no! Wow. 3 brilliant answers there. Really, really good low scores. But unfortunately, in this last round, they have to be pointless. And I'm sorry to say you didn't manage to find that all-important pointless answer, which means you don't win today's jackpot of £4,500. That will roll over onto the next show, but we have loved having you on the show. And you do, of course, get to take home a pointless trophy each, so very well done.
Thank you.
3, 2 and 1 is some going, guys. Obviously a very good category for you. You're unlucky not to just stumble across one of those pointless ones. Let's see which ones you were focusing on at home. Let's take a look at the pointless answers in all 3 categories. Muse singles are some of their bigger songs here. Butterflies and Hurricanes, Hysteria, one of their biggest songs. Resistance also, that would have been a pointless answer. Unintended, there's a few more for them. Dead Star, Hyper Music and Sing for Absolution. All of those were pointless answers, would have won the money. The Killers singles, Bones, off the Samstown album. Don't Shoot Me Santa was a pointless answer. It's a brilliant song if you haven't heard it. And Tranquilize, that they released with Lou Reed, that was a pointless answer. And the Kings of Leon, Fans, 4 Kicks, what some people say is their best song, The Bucket, that was a pointless answer. And What I Saw. Very well done if you've got any of those at home. It's a good category for a lot of people, that one.
Thanks very much indeed. Well, unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to you, Graham and Ian, but it's been brilliant having you on the show. Thank you both so much for playing. Really fantastic couple. Brilliant. Well, very sadly, Graham and Ian didn't win our jackpot today, which means it rolls over onto the next show when we will be playing for £5,500. Join us next time to see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.